another edition of TCM Graduate TV. I'm Kenton Sefcik, registered acupuncturist, and this is episode 37. Today I want to talk about heavy hitter stomach 9. Stomach 9, often called a danger point, and as you watched on my video about stomach 1, I abhor that type of comment, and I think it's really important to use stomach 9 in your practice. Now, it goes without saying, and I always say it with these acupuncture points, is that I by no means am a replacement for learning live. Acupuncture should be learned live. So if you could find a clinic supervisor or another acupuncturist, TCM specialist, that is very comfortable showing you this acupuncture point, that is the best way to learn. Now we'll get into why I think stomach 9 is safe and how you can practice it safely. If you recall again, when I was talking about stomach 1, there's 3 things we want to do or worry about in order to keep our patients safe, and the first one is the setup. The setup in this case is something I do with certain acupuncture points like lung 9 or stomach 9, those sort of things, and I basically place my finger on where I don't want to hit. So I'm going to find the carotid artery with my thumb or my finger, depending on where the patient is, and I'm going to place my needle next to my finger. Therefore, I'm not going to actually puncture anything underneath where my finger is. And that's how I do my setup for this type of acupuncture point. The next one, of course, is angle. And the next one here is depth. So we want to make sure that the angle is correct, and we want to make sure that the depth is correct. You also want to listen to any feedback your patient has. If they say ouch, you want to stop, because a lot of times there are nerve endings and capillaries around these large arteries, such as the carotid artery, and you won't be able to actually puncture the carotid artery, is what I've been taught. Instead, you're going to elicit a pain response from your patient. They're going to say ouch. So you're going to know that immediately you've gone maybe astray or you've gone too far, and you need to stop immediately. So that's how to keep your patient safe. Stomach 9 is a great acupuncture point for anything local, of course. So anything local would be something like a sore throat. Now I do have alternatives for sore throat that I will call on before, so I'll usually ask a patient, where do you have a sore throat? If they tell me that it's kind of back up in here, I won't jump to stomach 9 just yet. I'll use a Ren 23. And another great acupuncture point that we can use is a small intestine 17. And again, that's if a patient's telling me that their glands are swollen or their sore throat is located here. Now, a patient may tell you that they have a sore throat or it's quite raw in their voice box, voicelessness, maybe somebody has caught a cold and they've lost their voice. That's a fantastic acupuncture point for that. And just to remind you, all those 3 acupuncture points that go across from the carotid artery and the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and this is how I remember this. So we go stomach 9. So 9 plus 9 is 18, which gets us large intestine 18. And then 8 plus 8 is 16, which gets us small intestine 16. So that's how I remember all those going across the neck, and I hope that helps you. Other things we can use this wonderful acupuncture point for is, again, anything that affects the throat. So that might be plum pit chi. Now, plum pit chi is considered insubstantial phlegm, but we're still going to treat it as if it is phlegm in the body. And what I mean by that is we only have limited language in Chinese medicine, and we only have limited acupuncture points to use. So we're going to add in stomach 40. Because stomach 40 transforms phlegm. And a great acupuncture point where the divergent channel actually goes to the throat is liver 5. And And liver 5 is known for its plum pit chi ridding actions. The other thing I want to talk about in regards to stomach 9 is hyper and hypotension. And the reason this is important is because stomach 9 is a window of heaven acupuncture point. Now, from kind of a strict TCM, some people will say that TCM is kind of devoid of all spirituality, which is not true. But it's a little bit more medical, if you will, and a little bit less, spiritual in some regards, maybe as opposed to maybe 5 elements or some other practicing styles. But just giving you an example, so window of heaven points from a kind of a TCM version, they have to do with kind of regulating heaven, which is considered your head, with the rest of the body. So almost all, except for 2 acupuncture points, lung 3 and PC1, are considered window of heaven points, and they're located on the neck. And they do a wonderful job of regulating kind of head to body sort of thing. If you want to delve into more of the spiritual side of things, I highly recommend a book called 5-Element Constitutional Acupuncture by Hicks and Hicks. And it kind of talks about internal and external dragons. It talks about how to use maybe these window of heaven points in an alternative manner other than just kind of regulation. But here we can see from a functional point of view, that's kind of the word I'm looking for, is for hyper and hypotension. And the last thing I want to mention about these front neck acupuncture points, such as stomach 9, Ella 18, SI 16, is that we very much can use them for the theories that we've been taught, such as treat above to treat below. And in this case, we're going to treat the front to treat the back. So here I've used them successfully in clinic. Treat the front to treat the back for neck pain. So if you have a patient, they've got whiplash, and you maybe don't want to touch anything in the back because when you open up the dam, they're going to have one heck of a headache. Or maybe you're in the situation where the results aren't coming from treating in the back. So what we can do is we can treat the front to treat the back. And there you have it. Stomach 9, lots of great reasons to use it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching my Qigong video. We're going to do some more. And I just want to remind you that safety is king, bedside manner is king, and results are king. Safety is king. Thank you so much. We're going to see you on the next one.